Good morning. Chandra Sun Eel here, coming to you from Sedona on Monday, October 5th. So, for some time now, I've been getting a lot of messages around the elements of ether and the importance of cultivating it in our life at this time. There's so much tension and so much compression happening as we go through this passage in this birth canal and this transformation and this purge. And so I'd like to share with you what's been coming through, the qualities of ether, the importance of cultivating it in our lives at this time, and how we can cultivate it in order to give more space to what is rising and more space to what is being released and cleared and transmuted. So, ether elements. As you can imagine, the ether is great spaciousness. And so when we move into ether, we move into more expanded states. And ether, you could say, is the gateway to spiritual law, to divinity, to the cosmos. And ether contains all of the other elements. So within ether, we can find ourselves in a more spacious, unbound, non-resistant, peaceful, calm place. Ether connects us to spirit, to source, and again to spiritual law and to the divine plan. And there is a divine plan, and we are in the midst of the cleansing and the purification to make room for this next phase, this new era of the golden age to come through. And so with all of the opinions and perspectives and political viewpoints and I'm right, you're wrong, all of this, we're going to stay mired in that duality. And so moving into a practice with ether, with meditation, with connection to divinity and the divine plan, makes space for that to come through each of us and into the world, and also gives us room to breathe through all of this birthing. And so as tensions are high and emotions are extreme, it seems that just a little bit of fuel on the fire can make the whole thing just... So if you're finding yourself in a place of sensitivity and perhaps agitation or frustration or anger, take time. Take time to breathe, to connect with earth, to nature, to the beauty, and to spiritual law through the expanded states of ether. And know that we're all getting sort of bombarded by a lot right now. And the more that we're bombarded with, the more space and time and peace that we need to cultivate in our lives. Old timelines are dissolving, personal and collective old timelines, and there is a new timeline. But that timeline can only be found, felt in that expanded state of ether and with the divine. How can we work with ether, and what are some of the ways to cultivate more spaciousness and room for the divine to come into your life? As I mentioned earlier, there's so much coming up from the shadows, from the depths of the collective to be released. So being aware of that in your own field and having compassion with yourself and forgiveness and Playfulness is one way that I find myself moving into ether more easily as well. Being playful with myself, being playful with others. There's a word in the Quechua language in the Andes, and the word is pukai. And pukai means to engage in life in sacred play, and to remember that the sacredness is found in playfulness. So find ways to get laughter and joy and let your inner child come out and show you the way to some playful experiences and circumstances. So when we're in overwhelm, we're very reactive and less responsive. So meditation, obviously, creating that calm place, calming the mind, and using breath, walking meditations, yin yoga. I also recommend creating space in your house if you've got old things, if you've got clutter. Feng shui your house, your room, whatever your space is that needs maybe some of the clutter cleared out, and you'll feel the spaciousness in your body. So creating that meditative, calm, spacious state within the body, your joints are going to feel better. You're going to digest food easier. You're not going to be so reactive to situations around you, and you can be more responsive. Another thing that I love to do is taking long walks in nature and breathing into all of the expansiveness and beauty of nature, and also getting in water, freshwater streams and lakes to swim and cleanse and to release what's coming up for you. Another suggestion is to eat lighter foods and have less stress on your digestive system at this time. Drinking a lot of water, vegetables, fruits, light foods, light on the digestion, and making sure that you are nurturing yourself. So ultimately, our gift, the gifts of moving into ether, are realigning ourselves with spiritual law. So this time might also be showing some of you where you have too much ether, maybe, or there's too much emptiness in your life. And so it's a time to really contemplate and get clear on what is priority and what is important, what brings meaning, and what brings connection to the divine and to others, and inviting that into your life and making room for it. So here's a little tenderness that I offer through the flute, spaciousness and blessings to the world at this time. Thank you, and have a beautiful day.